And of course, there is the latest scam in which the SpiceJet airline said it did not know that somebody who had failed a test in 2008 had such a record and therefore was allowed to become a pilot. That seems to have been a lie. We put out that expose earlier on the show tonight. Tonight, we have one person on the show who knows exactly what happened in that case of SpiceJet. Let me welcome Jati Dhillon. He is a former Executive Vice President, Flight Operations of SpiceJet. Thank you, sir. Ajay Prasad, former Civil Aviation Secretary. Much of this happened in your time, sir. So thank you for joining us. Sohail Seth is managing partner of Councilage, but also has been an independent director on the board of British Airways. Joins us tonight both as a frequent flyer, but more as also as a corporate expert on the subject. Captain Gopinath, aviation pioneer, CMD of Deccan Cargo. I wonder how many fake pilots you may have. I'm not blaming you, but whether you know or not is a question tonight. Anmeet Agarwal is CEO of Supreme Aviation. And Captain Vilas Nayak, who joined us, also is someone who raised the issue many years back. So everyone on the show tonight is a participant. And let me begin by saying this. We have received a tremendous feedback from our viewers to our expose. And at this stage, I want to share one thing with all our viewers, that there is so much more that we have. There is so much more we are reporting and we are going to put out till this story is settled. So let me begin by asking you, Jati Dhillon, my first question is to you. You know about this case of this DGCA air safety director's daughter who was forced to resign today. You know, SpiceJet told us that they did not know that she had failed her test in America in 2008. Tell us the real story.
Arnab, the story really that at the moment the new management probably does not know what happened earlier. And maybe the records were not told to the CEO directly.
Rubbish.
But the fact of the matter is that she did fail her test and repeatedly, and was one of the cadets who was suspended from the program. And we made it very clear at that time and to the DGCA that, look, we were suspending her for non-performance. At the moment, and I was surprised that she was being taken up by SpiceJet again, even though she was dropped from the SpiceJet program.
Mr. Dhillon, I'm not completely convinced with your reply. And the reason for this is this. I didn't want to put this out so early into the program, but it's this. I have copies of emails. You have the copy of the email. You've shared those copies of emails, which show that you were also marked on those emails about her incompetency.
Sure.
Why did you not?
Yes.
So you're saying she had to resign and she came back again later?
No, she didn't resign the first time. She was terminated.
She was terminated. She was terminated in 2008.
Yes.
And again, she was
And how did she come back in 2009?
I have no idea, because in 2008 December I left the company. So I'm not really sure what happened after that and how she got herself back into the company.
Now let me tell you what happened.
So that was a surprise.
No, let me tell you what happened. She went to another school. She failed one test. She went to another school. And she got herself cleared, and then the DGCA gave her a flying license. That's what happened.
Okay. And by the reports which were given by the academy at that time, she shouldn't have continued to be flying, and the reports were with SpiceJet. So I really don't know why they shouldn't have the reports with them.
They said they didn't have the reports. Well, they have the reports, and if someone from SpiceJet is watching tonight, we'll pass on those reports to you, sir, so you can check for yourself whether you lied on national television. Sohail Seth wanted to come in. Yes, Sohail.
I mean, I find Mr. Dhillon's comments bizarre, frivolous, and dangerously out of whack. You suspended a woman? You should have had the compunction and the courage to complain to the police, to have her arrested. You say she was suspended and then she returned. The point is the airline should be shut down. The people in DGCA should be arrested. If one flight had gone horribly wrong, you'd have jeopardized hundreds of lives.
Absolutely.
Is no one accountable in this country? I mean, I find this whole logic of Mr. Dhillon's sanctimonious eruption that, oh, I had left the company by then. I mean, you were responsible. You seem to be a responsible person. Why did you not, from then till now, actually bring this matter to the attention of the police? If not the police, to the attention of Times now.
No, but the question then is, Sohail.
This is abhorrent behavior.
No, the question then is, Sohail. Valid point, but the question then is, did Captain Dhillon know? 1 minute, I know you want. Did you know, Captain Dhillon, that this lady...
If we didn't know, it's even worse.
1 second. He had left the company, but you had no idea. You are saying you came to know only when Times Now put out the story?
Yeah, because I saw it on TV. I'm working in Muscat. I'm with Oman Air. Since 2009 January, I left the country, and I don't know. I didn't follow up on anything of that kind. And I saw this on TV 4 days ago.
On time,
and I said,
then
oh my God, there's something wrong.
Well, this is absolutely. You know, Captain Gopinath. Captain Gopinath. Yeah. My question to you is, you know, when you were on air a few days back, you said let's have systemic improvements. How do you have systemic improvements when this bunch of nepotistic crooks, you know, is running and controlling India's highest civil aviation body? How do you when they are the judge and the culprit, unless they are out of the game, how do you improve the system?
Let me ask you this.
My question is to Captain Gopinath, then I'll come to you. Yes, Captain Gopinath.
Yeah, no question answer for that.
I think in any sector, whether it's the parliament and the MPs or doctors forging and having quacks practicing, we have to have a very on the one hand very severe punishment. If they are found guilty, they should be, like Suhail said, criminally prosecuted and put behind bars. Whosoever is involved in it, whether it is the DGCA or the airline owners, if they know it, if they act under pressure, because it's very, very normal. Let me finish now, since you asked me. It is very, very common and normal that you get a lot of pressure from politicians and ministers to, even today, every day I get calls and mails from members of parliament, ministers, chief ministers, governors calling me and saying, Captain Saab, aap usko madad karo. Now obviously you have to have the courage to tell the minister that this guy is going to kill himself or he's going to kill others, so we're not going to take him under any circumstance if he doesn't meet all the technical and safety standards.
So, but that's all.
And as anybody in the airline, anybody in the airline will tell you, if somebody comes with a certificate. Now don't interrupt. Who is that?
That's Captain Dhillon. Yes.
Don't interrupt.
Yeah.
If somebody.
Sorry.
Hold on, Dhillon. Just 1 second.
Go ahead.
I'm saying if all of us know when somebody applies for a job in an airline, nobody checks whether that certificate has been forged. Like you're not going to check in times now if somebody comes with a journalism certificate, because if it's entirely forged. That guy is a criminal offence.
Sir, but let me tell you. Let me tell you.
When he joins an airline.
No, sir, the story is different.
When he joins an airline, 1 second.
We are not asking you to check the certificates.
There is a check pilot there.
No.
There is a check pilot there who puts him through tests.
Exactly.
And then only if he qualifies,
Captain.
If he qualifies, he's allowed to fly. Otherwise, he's grounded.
Amit Agarwal is asking something.
This is a different thing if he
Amit Agarwal wants to point out something. Yeah.
We are not asking you to check the mark sheets, to check the licenses. As an airline, I understand you have to test the pilot by flying, by asking him questions about flying. So when the airline is testing the pilots by flying, forget the mark sheets, forget the license. When you do the flying tests, and if the person is not able to pass the flying tests, how do you appoint them as pilots when you fly hundreds of thousands of people every day?
That is a valid question.
Maybe political pressures, but does the political pressures tell you that appoint this?
You have to have the courage. No, I'm very sure I'm very sure nobody qualifies a pilot because he knows lives are in danger. But if somebody has done it under pressure, then he should be prosecuted.
No, but what is the my question is my question is I want to ask Ajay Prasad this one. Let me get a round of all my panelists first. Question is here. You said if somebody joins Times Now with a dubious certificate, then you wouldn't know. But look at the case here. If somebody joined Times Now on a dubious certificate and was asked to leave because the certificate was fake, and then came back, you allow the person to come back almost through the back door. Then questions will be asked, and if by doing the job the person would be putting people at risk, then it is the limit of irresponsibility. And I'm so surprised today the Civil Aviation Ministry has not issued any instructions against this airline SpiceJet. I want to get Ajay Prasad in. Does the Civil Aviation Ministry have the courage? Do politicians who seek favors, or do bureaucrats who seek favors from private airlines have the courage to act against the same private airlines? Ajay Prasad, isn't that the real story?
Can I say something?
No, Ajay
No,
Prasad.
I won't put it like that, Arnab. What I would say is that if an airline, and now this case, that particular case that you mentioned, where a person was dismissed and taken back again, now if an airline did this fully aware of the facts of the matter, I think it is gross criminal negligence, and an exemplary punishment should be visited on this airline, and there can be no excuse for that. And as Captain Gopinath was saying a little while earlier, if there is a recommendation from whoever it may be to take a pilot who is not found up to the standards, then it is on the moral obligation and the duty of the airline itself not to jeopardize the life of that individual as well as the hundreds and thousands of passengers who fly that. And they should have the courage to say no.
Okay, here's the back question to Captain J.S. Dhillon. Captain Dhillon, one second, Captain Dhillon. 1 second, Captain Dhillon. My question to you is,
Sure.
I have this email of yours, and you wrote an email to this dubious pilot's father. And the email was written on June 19th. I've hold it up for our viewers tonight.
Sure.
I have the date here, so they can read it here. June 19th, 2008, 10 o'clock in the morning. You write, "Dear Pussy, I'm forwarding mails for your reference." It has your signature on it. And the whole sequence of how this lady failed her test is given out there. Why did you tell her father about what is the price? Why did you tell her father? My question is to you, Mr. Pasti. Why did you tell the dubious pilot's father in an email about the sequence of her daughter's progress? What was official about that?
You see,
What pressure?
What was official about that?
Please, okay, can I without interruption, say that for a few minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been training pilots for 30 years. There's a certain process which is followed in training, and this is one of the process when you're terminating people, when you're giving to other ones, you inform all the people concerned. So she was terminated, and as a matter of fact, what Gopinath is saying correctly, with all the pressures and her father being in the safety, I still went ahead and terminated her.
So, but you were under pressure from her father.
It shows the will of the company. Yes, and it shows the will of the company at that time, that we were willing to take this stand that if the daughter of whoever was concerned, whoever it was terminated while he was in office, and we told her, we had the guts to tell her that, look, sorry, we are terminating her.
What was the pressure her father put?
Nobody looking at that.
Reveal the story. What was the pressure her father put on you? Tell us.
No, not pressure, but just the fact of the matter that he was there in the DGCA. So the fact of the matter is that, like Gopinath very correctly said, that we should stand up and say that she is not fit.
So is that convincing? Okay, Captain Dhillon, Sohail, coming to you 1 second. I haven't got Captain Nayak in yet. What do you think about that?
What I've been hearing about this is Mr. Dhillon, total lies, okay?
Yeah.
Total lies, absolutely lies. You mean to say that when you are recruiting the pilot, you are not checking the credential of that pilot? Or simply recruiting, and you come to know only when after someone sends you the email, that time you come to know that is the below standard
one second.
pilot.
What Captain Dhillon is saying, I knew about this case when I came to know about the case despite the pressure.
Then why did he not take action? You mean to say that was Mr. Dhillon, Captain Dhillon was under pressure?
He said so.
Why?
He just said so.
What was the pressure? What was the favor Mr. The director of flight safety, Mr. Pasi, was putting on to Mr. Dhillon? What was the pressure?
Okay, Sohail wanted to come in here.
Please.
Captain Dhillon.
Okay, can I, because all this is being directed towards me.
Let me destroy this so-called false morality.
Can I come this
No,
clear
1 minute, Captain Dhillon, you've had your piece.
Okay.
Now let us also speak.
Okay.
Let me destroy this false morality of Captain Dhillon, who is now in Oman Air, saying what he did.
Disgrace.
He sends an email to Pasi. Fair? Who should he have actually spoken to? He should have spoken to the police. Because this was not a case of incompetence.
Correct.
Mr.
Right.
Dhillon, get your English vocabulary right.
But Sohail,
incompetence is different from deceit.
But Sohail,
if you have faked a certificate, it is deceit.
Sohail,
this is totally going wrong.
One second. Yes, go ahead, Captain Dhillon.
This is totally going wrong.
Yes.
This is totally going wrong. Because the fact of the matter is, she has done nothing illegal. I don't think the people, whoever is talking that, it understands what training is all about.
She's not done
There is a
anything
traumatic
One minute,
process
she's not
of
flown a
training.
plane. Let
It is
him reply.
totally performance.
She's
It
failed
is
a
not
test
cheating.
and she's become a pilot.
And she's not done anything illegal.
That
What a
she did not
disgrace.
become a pilot.
I mean, which country are you living
What a
in?
lie
Even
it is.
Muscat has better
One second,
intelligence.
can I come in? Can I come in? Can I come in
you
one
have
second?
become a
I just
pilot.
want to put some perspective into this. One
Okay.
second. I just want to share the perspective
Yes.
into this.